Hello, 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 my friends. Welcome to the Oh My Goodness podcast. Last year in September, when I did the Fuck It, Why Not, We Need It Joy Challenge, I did a Spark Notes episode. That was pretty fun. And so I thought it'd be kind of interesting to do it for Absurdist Delight because there's some similarities and differences. But that way, whether you were in the challenge or not, you kind of get ideas of what is the work that we're doing, right? Sometimes people are like, what would you do for 2 months about joy? Like, isn't that just like twirl and be happy? But surprise, it's so much more, right? So this is a general overview. I'm not diving deep. Um, if you would like to go deeper, come to Embodied in Joy. It's my free Facebook group. We have all of the recordings from the September Joy Challenge. And then also new things are coming down the pipeline. I have an announcement I'm working on. By the time you listen to this, it'll be a couple weeks out from when you listen to this, if you're listening the first week of August. Okay, so first off, this was called Absurd Delight. The reason for that is because so often the conversation of joy goes around I am worthy of joy, or I have earned my joy because I have suffered enough. Do you see how that gets tangly? Do you see how there's that, this is mine? This is like, there's like deserving can get sticky, but also then we rank it. Did I suffer enough for this? Well, this level of joy, this is a really great week, but I didn't have a bad week. So maybe this is too good. What if this is too good and now something bad is going to happen? We attach joy to so many things that it doesn't actually need to get attached to. Right. And so our very first call was kind of going through all of that and also talking about the context of joy and context of our life. Because so often we're like, it should be like this and it should be like this. Okay, it's not. And I don't say, okay, it's not in a rude way. I say like, okay, it's not. What is reality? What is actually happening? And so we mapped it all out of what's going on in your personal life, in your bigger life of your friends, your family, your work, and on the outer world, because all of that is having an impact on you. And if you're like, yeah, everything is great and good, but also like your mom has cancer, you got in a car crash 2 months ago, the world is on fire, and like you're an immigrant from the Middle East, all of these things right now are having a really big impact on you. So even if things are okay right now, but you're like, why do I feel weird? When you scoot out and you look at the context, you're like, yeah, no wonder I'm feeling weird right now, or I'm feeling overwhelmed. So a lot of this is about acknowledging what's actually here. Because when we get stuck in the shoulds of it should be like this and it should be like this. Okay, but then we can't do actually anything actionable with that, or any action you do take is based off of a false premise. And what happens in a science experiment if you do work based off of a false premise? You don't get the results of the experiment you were trying to do, or you're going to have results that are different than what you originally were going after. Interesting things may happen, right? How many times has an experiment gone sideways and they're like, oh, look at that new information. But it's helpful context because a lot of time it adds shame and guilt versus openness and clarity. When you can acknowledge, that's a lot. What happens, and what I see time and time again in both group programs I run and in my one-on-one work, is it's not shame inducing. It's actually like shame releasing. Because you're like, oh, yeah, I am doing a lot. Okay. Oh, and it's like this breath releases and it's just freedom because it's like, okay, maybe I don't have to do as much as I thought I did because this is also happening. Like, okay, that makes sense why I'm not also training for a marathon and writing a book and recording a podcast and taking care of my 4 kids. Like anybody else, you'd be like, of course not. But for yourself, we set these high standards that are really unattainable, but we think we should be able to do them. So then we're shaming ourselves for things that actually are very much out of our capacity. Could we do all of those things? Sure, but it just might take longer. Okay. So along those lines, we also talked about a joy map. And this looks like joy has patterns. And so often people think of joy as the elated joy, right? I'm on a roller coaster. I'm on a Ren fair. I'm at a LARP. There's these high moments of elation that were like, that's joy. But joy looks like a lot of things. There is cozy joy. There is relief joy. There is community joy. There's joy in the joy of other people, right? It can look like a lot of things. So we made our map. Who brings you joy? What brings you joy? Where brings you joy? Why? Why do you feel joy? What are the things that most often trigger you into joy, that lead to you feeling delighted, right? And we talked about sister words: delight, wonder, awe, laughter. Like, sometimes joy feels very intense and in your face, but it's like, okay, could we bring curiosity? Could we bring hope? Could we bring, ooh, what's that? Like, maybe bringing that energy into it lowers the bar of the access point of joy, right? So if you listen to the glossary, we talked about access points, right? If something feels too high, if we're not doing it, if we're not accessing, it's usually because it's too high. It doesn't make sense. We don't have enough information, or we don't have enough support to do that. So when we look at joy of like, oh, okay, for example, we have people with chronic illness in Absurdist Delight. One of the conversations we talked about is accessible joy. Okay, when you have a flare up and you are bedbound for the day, okay, you can't go on a walk. What can you do? They found like, hey, having my art supplies near me is really nice. Hey, having sheets that feel nice is really nice. Hey, having dry shampoo or toothpaste tabs that aren't a flavor I enjoy, or having my favorite cozy socks or a change of clothes that are nearby. So even if I can't get out of bed, I can still change my clothes, right? And it might seem like obviously, but not obviously. Because sometimes when we're suffering, we like to add on to the suffering because we're like, I deserve it. I have to. This is what everybody else who's suffering is like this, right? We see this also with our periods or in motherhood. And people are like, well, this is just how it is. And it's like, okay, but do we want to carry that forward? Right? So often people are like, oh my God, I'm 35 now, or I'm 50 and it's all wasted. It's all gone. It's like, that doesn't have to be true. Do you want to keep that? Like, sure, some things are going to be harder, but man, each year I've gotten older, it has honestly gotten better and better. Has there been some hard years? Hell yes. But God, I love being 37. It has been so great. I've only been 37 for like 3 months, but I liked it. 36 was great too, right? 28 was also great. And there is a freedom I feel in my body, God, that I did not have when I was 28. And I love it. I love it. I love how good and clear I feel in my body. I love the resonance I feel. And that came with age. That came with age and asking a lot of questions. Okay. Okay. The other part we talked about is calling the absurd absurd. Part of this is Absurd Delight was the world is on fire. Things are happening that just don't make up sense. And people are normalizing it. And we're like, no, this shit is crazy. This is crazy. This is not normal. Human rights for everyone should not be a discussion. Why are we arguing about food? There's more than enough to go around. Like, no, humans are worthy of love. Like, what the actual fuck, right? So the world is absurd. We get in trouble when we say it's not absurd. When we're like, it's fine. And then your body reacts because your body knows it's not fine. But you're like, it's fine. This is just how it is. Okay, it can be how it is at this moment, but that doesn't make it fine. You can call the absurd the absurd. And some people are like, that's not addressing the horrors that are happening. I understand. But I'm saying when we can call something absurd, it's just like, this is way out there. This is way out of line. Horror absurd, scary absurd, weird absurd. This doesn't even make sense absurd. Do you see how it's kind of a catch-all? But the idea is that you're allowing yourself to actually call it something that it is. It's not normal. Let's not call it normal. Let's call it absurd. This whole political climate we're in, it's absurd. It's scary. It's dangerous. It's absurd. And so when we call things in our life like that absurd, it makes space to be like, yeah, that is absurd. Okay, great. Now, what do you want to do with it? How do you want to show up with it? Okay, this is the political climate we're in, where things are about to be rigged. Midterms are coming up in 6 months. Are you registered to vote? Are you talking to your friends about voting? Are you donating? Like, how do you want to show up? If this is the world we live in right now, right? How do you want to show up? And it makes it easier and cleaner and also more complicated, right? Because then we have to sit with the fact that it is our reality. Because we'd be like, it shouldn't be like this. I know, girl, man, friend, I concur. I concur. And here we are. Hostile government takeover, right? The whole thing, the whole shebang. Yeah. And how do you want to show up? Right here. And maybe you're like, my thing is the dogs. Great. My thing is the adoptive kids. Great. My thing is the travel and helping people move. Great. My thing is joy. We all have these different facets, right? We're all touching the divine elephant in different ways. Different people's roles look differently depending on what they're doing. My friend is a librarian. I'm like, thank you for your work. You're one of the last remaining third spaces in the world, and I love it. I love it so much. I love me my libraries. She's like, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it is work. And I'm like, yes, it is. Okay. Does that make sense? So when we have our context and we call the absurd, then we're also like, yeah, this is wild. You know what? I get to be wild too. If you're going to ban all those books, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to put on my glitter. And somebody came after me the other day, not after, that's a weird way of saying that, but somebody was like, yeah, but glitter is bad for the environment. I understand. Yeah. And I'm also saying they make biodegradable glitter now. They make mica powder. They make different things now that you can have shimmery, shinies. You can thrift your spark. I'm just saying, you don't even have to have glitter. One of our Absurdist Delight girls is like, I don't like glitter. I'm like, that's okay. Because everybody else was talking about their glitter freckles. And like, I think there's 10 or 12 people in Absurdist Delight now that are constantly wearing glitter in some way, shape, or form on their face. There's some kind of makeup that's shimmery. And I love it. But I was like, that's okay. Like, it's not for everyone, right? And like, there's a very real impact of glitter on the world. There is also a very real impact on Pepsi and cola in the world, right? And like straws. Everybody has their own battle to fight. I am embracing the sparkle life. It is one of my downfalls. Does that make sense? It's one of my vices. So it is what it is. And also, there's lots of biodegradable options. So you don't have to choose between sparkles and the earth. Okay, moving on. One of the things that people were coming up against is joy feels so far away. So far away. Welcome to the Jukebox with AJ podcast. I'm so riled up because we just finished our call and it was amazing to see how people grew. Because I bring up the small steps because so many people back then, 2 months ago, were like, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what joy is. I've had a little bit of joy, but I want more. Life is busy right now. And I was like, trust the process over and over again. Trust the process. Little bits add up. Little bits are exponential. Little bits count. These small shifts, cruise ships turn 1 degree at a time. 1 degree, giant ass cruise ships. And they're going across oceans, right? To whole different countries. So if a cruise ship can go at 1%, so can you. But so often we want to have a before and after moment, but we don't want to have the middle. Can't have a before and after without the middle. Something has to happen. What's your inciting incident, right? And so often, sometimes it's a big shift, but without the little shifts, does it stay? Is it sustainable? And I am more interested not in people having a really great time with me for 2 months and feeling all jazzed up and great, and then not doing anything ever again. I mean, sure. Yes to jazzed up and great. And they did. And what I'm more interested in is how can we calibrate your nervous system to a new baseline of existing where joy feels accessible every day in new ways, and you're allowing yourself to show up in your own damn life in the way that you thought you could and wanted to when you were 6, and now you're actually doing that when you're 37. We're going to church. Oh, right? So good. Sorry, I just yelled in your ear. But do you see the impact of small steps? They add up because then it gets normalized. And right now, their challenge for the end of the year, to the end of next week, the end of our challenge, is to share joy every day online in their social media, and they can tag me or whatever. But what happens is when we share joy, it's both getting out of ourselves to be like, hey, my joy has ripples. My joy causes overflow. My joy reminds other people. It's a permission slip, right? And also it's giving invitations for others to calibrate and feel the same. Right? It's a frequency that you can tune into or turn on to and invite in, just like a radio, like a ham radio of, one girl, she posted about, it was downpouring, raining, and she was like, oh, I'm going to get so soaked. And she saw a girl running in the rain and playing in the puddles with her dad. And she was like, you know what? I'm going to get rained on either way. And she decided to also do some twirling in the rain because she's like, I'm going to be soaked either way. And she had a blast, and she went home and she showered. She was like, either way, I was going to get drenched because she didn't have an umbrella. But she's like, but I feel so much more joy. See what I'm saying? Okay. So even when it's hard, there's space to invite in. How can this be more playful? How can this be more easeful? How can this bring more delight? Where can we shine some play in here? Right? We're making space for the possibilities of hope to enter into the chat. That's why we call it an adventure day and not a bad day. Bad day colors the whole damn day. Whole day shot. Next. Adventure day is like, whoo, that morning. Whoa, that was something else. Who knows what the afternoon may hold? Maybe there's some goodness yet to be revealed. Maybe there's some message in the mess for this, right? Maybe there's some possibilities. Maybe there's chocolate. Maybe there's ice cream, right? Sometimes we have to BYO goodness. Buy the ice cream, buy the snack, go for the walk. And we talked about consciously planning joy. There's a difference of the opening of joy, of being open to it. Like sometimes it drops in our lap. We see a rainbow, we see a friend, we have a moment, we have friend night, and it's lovely. But then there's also the intentional joy planning. And it doesn't make it any less good. It's like writing Christmas list to the universe of saying, hey, here's what I like. And then the universe can actually answer it, right? It's like practicing asking for what we need to people, which can be very hard. But when it comes to our joy, we are unwilling to set ourselves up for success. We're unwilling to plant goodness in our lives to make our life easier, more fun. If I have a busy work day like today, I have 5 calls and I'm recording this podcast and maybe dancing tonight. It depends. There's supposed to be a tropical storm coming through, so probably not, but maybe. I am dressed to the nines. If you can see me on video, I look good. I look like a Christmas ornament. I got like a sparkly skirt that's orange, like orange sherbet. I've got a red Christmas sequin see-through shirt. I've got a red velvety vest that's long. I've got these gold dangly earrings. I've got my face freckles on, like my gold freckles. I've got this chrome lipstick that I'm very much vibing for. It's a lip foil from Chameleon from Wet n Wild. And then I've got gorgeous eye makeup. Like my makeup, my henna is on point. I got my chest henna. But like I knew on Monday night, I was like, hey, I'm going to have a very busy week. Having my henna done makes me feel more like me and more in my body. Let me set myself up for success. And I gave myself 2 hours to do my henna. And now today I wake up, my henna's all done. I have a good stain. And I'm like, yeah, let's roll. I feel more embodied because I prepped myself for joy. I'm wearing clothes that make me feel joy. Every time I walk in the mirror and I see myself, I'm like, ooh, yeah, let's go take over the day, right? It's like this planning of seeding goodness that comes up in the future as well. If I go dancing tonight, I'm going to wear these same clothes and people will be like, ooh, look how sparkly you are. It's going to bring them joy too. Joy is contagious, okay? Anxiety is contagious. So is joy. That is a whole other conversation. So we're not diving into this because this is Spark Notes. Okay, next, the bucket. You're holding so much stuff that's not yours. So much stuff. When I tell you my people are the best people, if you're listening to this, you are a best person and you are a good cookie, but you are carrying probably a lot that's not actually yours. Societal stories, conditioning, stories from your family, your parents, shame, guilt, whatever. It's a lot. It's a lot that you are carrying that's not yours. So we have the chuck it in the fuck it bucket. You've heard me talk about this before in the emotional hygiene, energetic hygiene episode. But it's just about letting the stuff go that's not actually yours. If you want to call it a universal recycling bin or whatever, do that. But so often we're holding on to stuff of, I can't let this go. Hello, control. And this is coming from a girl who's working her way through control because I have great ideas, but also other people have free will, right? And sometimes that's hard. It's hard. And I say that because I want you to know you're not alone. You're not crazy when you're just like, yeah, but if they could just do it like this, it would be better for everyone, especially me, but also everyone. And then they do it another way. And you're like, okay, cool. Guess we're making those choices today. Okay. But when you can put it in the bucket, it washes it, sends whatever's actually yours, what's actually your responsibility back to you. And then to them, it sends their stuff back to them, washed and pressed. And whatever's neither of yours recycles into the universe, right? We're carrying so much more. So it's this idea of just letting go of whatever's bothering you, whatever in your mind, and it gets washed and pressed back. So that way it's less sticky. We talked about stickiness and the energetics of joy and emotions and feelings and how things are attached and hooks. This is a spark notes. But so often, remember how we talked about joy and suffering has a hook, and it's like you're connecting two things that don't need to be hooked or together, but are often. Joy and suffering is one of those. Okay. Does that make sense? Us, joy, and other people's hardships is a hook that doesn't need to be a hook. Okay. So the bucket of constantly putting things in the bucket and releasing it. We even made a thread on the WhatsApp chat just to be the bucket, just to be vent. Because so often we don't need to be fixed. We just need to be heard. We just need a space to like send it off and be like, I don't even know what to do with this. I can't do anything about it. Here you go. And then you've heard me talk about the universal locker that you can put things on and be like, hey, God, knock back when there's something for me to do. Because sometimes something is our responsibility, but there's nothing we can do about it right now. And so sometimes it's like, okay, Spirit, I'm handing this to you. When it's my turn, let me know. And I'll do the next right thing when I get more information. We'll go from there. Okay. Okay. Because otherwise it's taking up so much bandwidth. And joy is your birthright. And so when we're like, hey, my birthright is actually taking over else, you're actually removing their opportunities for growth. You're taking over responsibility. So that fosters resentment, bitterness, all of that jazz. And you're going to exhaust yourself. So when we're prioritizing all of that, right? And there's right side of helping other people. This is not saying fuck everybody else in your life. That's not what this is saying at all. It's saying, how are you overextending so much and saying, it's fine, not a big deal, I got this, and then falling asleep, resentful, exhausted, and frustrated because you overextended, didn't ask for what you need, didn't plan any time for joy, and forgot to eat lunch. Most of y'all are neurospicy in some way, shape, or form. A majority of y'all are between 30 and 50 and femfolk. I know you. I know you. I am you, right? We're all in this together. And if you're like, I'm not in that category, there's things that resonate for you here. But I am saying the reason I say these things on the podcast is because I see this time and time again. These are the same conversations I'm having time and time again with one-on-one clients, in group stuff, and embodied in joy. You're not alone and you're not crazy. You might have mental health needs, but that is different. You're not making all this stuff up in your head. This is societal conditioning that's been passed down. And I'm saying it's not fucking yours. It's not yours. And the sooner you lean into grace and kindness and possibilities and hope and joy, and less on the shame and guilt train about possibly letting go some of that over responsibility that you were told you have to be a good helper and you come last and everybody else has to be served and then you can go, that martyrdom situation that you're responsible for everybody around you, the sooner we can get right-sized and be like, yeah, Spirit has my back. Spirit also has their back. Oh, yes, they're also a human that can ask for what they need. Oh, yeah, I can be vulnerable with the people who love me and actually have my back and say, hey, I'm trying this thing where I actually listen to what I need on occasion and I do this wild thing called taking breaks. What? There's a reason I'm public with my sanctuary days. There's a reason I post it on Facebook. It's because if I'm not doing that, I slack off and I like go on Facebook or answer messages. When I do that and I'm like, call me out on it, my friends are like, why are you messaging me? It's a Tuesday. Get offline. I'm like, thank you so much. I appreciate you. When we have people, when we have community, and that's also something we talked about, is having community who loves your shine. Not everybody does. Not everybody is here for your joy. And that sucks. I'll be the first one to acknowledge it. It sucks. The emails suck. The messages suck. They suck. But here's my question for you. Would you rather live a life that is aligned and in alignment with your higher power and who you were created to be? Or would you rather hide? Would you rather hide? And hiding keeps you safe in some ways, right? This is not downplaying the safety that is built in to obeying the rules in different places. And I'm not saying to out yourself in unsafe ways or things like that, but there are ways that we can have our own backs, even with containers or spaces that we need to exist in, that help us acknowledge ourselves. Okay. Okay. And I'm getting serious because I see the impact long term. I have people coming to me when they're 60, when they're 70, and they're like, I wish I would have done this 50. If I can make you hear me now when you're 25, when you're 35, when you're 45, oh my God, you're going to save yourself so much time and energy. All I can do is stand here and be like, I wish I could play you in my tape of mine, of all the people I've worked with and talked to and all the stories. Part of the reason why I made this podcast is so that you can hear me talk to you directly. That even if we never work one-on-one together, I can say you, yes, you who's listening right now in the car or on your walk or with your dogs or the kids are playing or whatever, you are worthy of goodness. Spirit has your back. The world is full of possibilities. And that loud voice inside, that fast voice, the voice that's slippery or loud, that's not your soul. That's not you. That's shame. That's guilt. That's our expectations of other people's expectations of yourself. That's the lies we believe. Your soul is good. Your soul is good. Okay. Okay. Let's keep going in because yes. Sip your water. You got water? Sip your water. I'm going to sip my water. Oh, I also just get so excited because I see the difference. I see the light that comes on in people's eyes when they're doing this work and the lightness that they feel of like, oh my God, I'm allowed goodness. And when it sinks into their body, right? So you might be like, AJ, you're very intense about this. It's because I see the difference. I see people come alive every day I do this work. I see people remember their souls like click into place. It's like their brightness lightens. I see people get online with their body and their higher power, spirit, flow, goddess, their big soul. Doesn't matter. Oh, it's just the best. Okay, wrapping it up. Joy snacks, little bits of joy. Somebody said this on the call today, and I was like, oh my God, that's a phrase. Joy snacks. What's a little bits of joy? Dance break, listening to a song you love, your favorite snack, putting on some glitter and like lipstick, wearing clothes that bring you joy, getting outside, going for a walk. It's these little sprinkles of joy that we can do to remember, because we forget. Our brains are hoarders. We forget. We get cute. We forget we are worthy of joy. And that's when we go, oh, I forgot that I'm worthy of joy and goodness, and that my soul is goodness, spirit has my back. That's adorable. Okay, what do I need to do today? How can I lean back into that? That's as easy as it gets to be. And if you're like, that's so hard, but girl, book a one-on-one with me. Come on. Technically, I'm sold out, but send me a message to be on my wait list, because something is also coming soon. Okay. I'm going over my notes. The last thing I kind of want to cover here is the joy stories we believe, right? Of I am worthy of joy. My joy ripples in the world in beautiful ways. People love paying me for joy, right? That one's a personal one for me. But when we have these stories about joy, there's edgy ones of, I can wear what I really, really want to wear. That one feels very edgy for me, because like today I'm wearing what I really, really want to wear, which is a whole outfit of sparkles. What I really, really want to wear sometimes is my Ren Fair outfits in the regular world, my jingle skirts out in the regular world. I don't know if I'm there yet. I'm working on it. But I'm like, do I believe this? Can I do this? And so I've been pushing my edges bit by bit as I'm learning this. But what are your joy stories? Write them down, tweak them, practice them, add in buffers of, I am theoretically willing to practice believing I am worthy of joy, right? See those spacers? But it's making space for you to be like, okay, I'm calibrating to this. And then we future trip. Who am I if I lean into this? Who do I become as I lean into joy? Who am I calling in? And what does that look like? What is the impact of me choosing joy? Because so often we're like, nothing really matters, right? Like we get all like swirly about it. It's just like, it's always going to stay the same. It is with that attitude. Yeah. And also it's not, because things are always changing. So even if you don't do anything different, something's going to change. And then you're going to be like, yeah, but I did everything right and it still changed. I know. Welcome to this thing called life. It's a weird, weird situation. I concur. So at that rate, once we acknowledge that things change regardless of whatever we do or not do, maybe we could also play with it. We could also add in some joy. We could also ask for what we need. And it's a practice in being comfortable in the both and of being stretchy, of it feeling sticky, of being like, am I actually allowed to ask for what I need? Am I actually allowed to wear like bold lipstick at work? Am I actually allowed to like buy some henna and practice? Does that make sense? Okay, so this is all a practice. And as people were sharing their wins and their takeaways from this challenge, they were talking about like how they're not letting bad moments take over a whole day, that they're more open to sharing, that they're feeling more connected to their family members, that they feel more embodied in their skin, that they're loving their outfits more, right? That they're showing up at work in different ways. Like the ripples of joy is not just for you to feel good. It's for you to feel embodied and aligned. And that ripples in ways, I mean, some other things will, but like not a lot else will. Because when you're alive, you feel it. You've got a tangible feeling. Like even from here, I'm sure you can feel how like vibrating and like resonant I feel right now. Like I'm like, this is my work. This is my life's work. This is the truth of the core of the matter. Right? And so all I want is for you to know that you get this too. Joy is your birthright. Joy is your birthright. So go sing your soul song. Check if you're halto, hungry, angry, lonely, tired, overwhelmed, sick. Brush your teeth. Take a shower if you need to. Reset. Sprinkle some joy in. You are worthy of joy. If you learn nothing from me, you are worthy of joy. Your soul is good. The spirit has your back. If you're like, ooh, I want more stuff from you, AJ. Cool. Hop on my wait list. Send me an email, thejoyweaver@gmail.com for one-on-one work. Something is coming in either August or September that I'm excited about. It'll be a group thing that I'm excited. And then Embodied in Joy is my free Facebook group. It's got lots of goodness. And in there, in the guide section, is the September challenge from last year. And that was really great as well, and has 7 different calls. I think we did 7 calls, and those have deep dives as well. Like that went into the nitty gritty of some joy stuff. So go check those out if you're like, I need more immediately. There's also my embodied clarity course on the Squarespace that you can get for 222. And it goes through my foundations of like, what is creativity and curiosity? How do I listen to my inner knowing? How do I it gives you your bases. It's like 5 workshops, deep dive is so good. It's so good. And meditations, it's legit. So I will talk to you soon. You've got this. Do your twirling. It's going to be a good day. Send this to somebody who needs it, who you're like, hey, here's, I know we went hard and fast. This is like a little fire hydrant today, but it's Spark Notes. If you want more, come find more. I got you. Talk to you soon.